Islam Makhachev training with Georges St. Pierre ahead of his welterweight debut sent shockwaves through the MMA world, and it immediately sparked heated debates about how he would fare against Jack Della Maddalena. The matchup has become one of the most anticipated discussions in the sport, with fighters, coaches, and analysts all weighing in on what makes it such a fascinating clash.
Who do you think's going to win in the fight between Jack Della and Islam?
It's a good fight, but a tough fight. I go a little bit more on Islam.
You've mentioned welterweight in the past as well. Is that something that you can still see yourself going back down to welterweight, or are you looking to just stick?
We always have some different plans.
Do you think Islam will fight Khamzat?
Israel Adesanya was one of the first big names to break it down. He believes that Della Maddalena's striking could be a serious problem for the Dagestani champion if the Australian manages to stay upright. Keeping range, peppering Islam with his boxing combinations, and avoiding takedowns could cause real issues. Adesanya emphasized that Makhachev is not a one-dimensional fighter though. Even when forced to strike, Islam has the ability to seamlessly switch gears and dive into wrestling mode. That unpredictability makes him dangerous in every position, and Adesanya made it clear that Della Maddalena cannot afford even a single lapse in focus.
Della versus Islam. How are we feeling about that?
I think Della is going to get it done. I feel from talking to Tim and also seeing Della, and also I've only sparred Della once, like not really hard crazy, but and I didn't try and take him down at all, but I've seen him at your gym sparring, and his scrambles are crazy.
Yeah, he's good.
Even watching him with Bilal as well, and Gilbert Burns, his scrambles are crazy, and I feel Islam would feel like he bit off more than he could chew once he gets in there with him, because when he puts some things on him, he's like, oh shit, I'm not standing with this guy, I have to take him down. And then he tries, gets him down, and he gets back up, or he couldn't get him down, because he's a big dude. People don't realize how big Della is as well. He's solid. So I really
dense, man, just dense.
Dense, yeah. Like when I felt, like I said, we're sparring, and then it's just the weight behind it, and the way he throws it, the body banging, man, fucking good. But yeah, this fight, Ben Vickers said he's gonna knock him out, and I believe him. I honestly believe him, because I just think he's not gonna be able to hand with him on the scrambles, or when he gets back up. He's gonna, like, Della is just so stoic. And he just, like you said, focuses on his own game. And when he does that, I really think he's gonna get him. And I can't wait till that happens. And wherever it is, I'm gonna be there.
George Masvidal echoed the thought that Jack's striking and aggression posed problems. But his angle was more about the weight shift. He sees Islam's move up to 170 as a gamble because losing the edge of being the bigger man at lightweight might expose him. Cutting down to 155 had always been a brutal process for Makhachev, and Masvidal thinks being at welterweight could change how effective he is. On the other hand, Jack thrives in chaos and has proven that his finishing ability doesn't fade under pressure. Masvidal respected the way the Australian dismantled Belal Muhammad on short notice and suggested that this sort of relentlessness could bring out vulnerabilities in Islam that the world hasn't seen before.
I've seen Islam, bro. He's a big guy. He's sucking out a lot of weight to get to 55. I think he might start doing better at 70. Problem is though, Jack is special. We're gonna see just how special he is if he beats Islam Jack, #1 pound for, wow, that's impressive, you know. I'm leaning towards Islam, brother.
Oh, really?
You know, but I really think it's gonna be a tough fight for him, but a great fight, man.
Jack was able to defend takedown attempts by Bilal.
Bilal has the best cardio in MMA, but Bilal doesn't have Islam's technique. Not same technique, not same. Very good, very aggressive. Bilal never stops, a dog. Attack. But Islam is like smart, man. Boom. You know, Islam's level of wrestling is above. His stand-up game is improving. I don't think he could go stand-up in the beginning with Jack. Jack has way better hands, way better range, faster, stronger. But as the rounds go on later and later, he could do.
While some focused on striking, others zeroed in on wrestling defense. Ian Gary pointed out that Della Maddalena's ability to defend takedowns could be the most important weapon of all. Gary feels that size and defensive skills combined might tilt the fight in Jack's favor. The welterweight division is full of larger bodies, and Islam will no longer be the bully he once was at lightweight. If Jack stuffs those first few takedowns and forces Islam into a boxing match, the fight could look very different from the usual Dagestani clinic.
Who do you think wins, Jack or Islam?
It's such a tough one to talk about. Islam is phenomenal. He's good everywhere. Size matters.
When you're talking about an extra 15 pounds, when you look at the size of Volkanovski versus Jack Della Maddalena, there's a big size discrepancy. And Volk gave him a good fight. And then Dustin Poirier, it wasn't absolutely completely dominant by his time. It was a tough fight. Size is going to play a huge part. Even on the ground, I feel like Jack could get it done with just some clean boxing and good takedown defense. But I can absolutely see Islam coming in and doing what Islam does and going out there and just looks like the phenomenal mixed martial artist he is.
Ilia Topuria added yet another strategic layer, suggesting that Jack target Islam's body. The thinking here is that well-placed body shots early could sap Islam's energy, making it harder for him to shoot effectively. Topuria sees this as a sneaky but vital plan. If Islam is slowed down, his timing on takedowns disappears and the fight swings heavily toward Jack's strengths.
The advice, like, he has to work the straight body shots, because that takes away the intentions of the takedown. If he works with the straight body shots, he's gonna stop his intentions of the takedowns. And he's doing a great job at the striking. I like how he fights.
Stephen Thompson took a more cautious stance. He admired Jack's talent but thought the rise might be too fast. Fighters like Shavkat Rakhmonov and Ian Gary have been grinding through the rankings, and they might view Jack's leap to a potential title fight as unfair. Thompson suggested that the gap in competition level could come back to bite him, reminding everyone that a meteoric rise often comes with serious risks. Facing Islam at this point could be too much, too soon, even for someone as skilled as Jack.
Who do you think wins that fight between Islam and Jack Della Maddalena?
Well, first off, I gotta say, if I was Shavkat Rakhmonov or Ian Gary or somebody that is right there who's really worked hard to get there, I'd be pretty pissed. Because, you know, this guy JDM just got the title, and then he's giving somebody else a shot at what I've earned the right to have, you know, which is the title shot. Like, give JDM a shot at, you know, give him one or two more guys. If he beats them, then give him somebody outside the division. But I would be kind of pissed. I would be kind of upset that they're giving this guy immediately somebody from 155 division. Now, I think it's a very tough fight for Islam Makhachev. Bigger guy, somebody who won the title from somebody with a similar style in Bilal Muhammad. Mm-hmm. I do believe Islam Makhachev striking is a lot better than Bilal Muhammad's, but their pressure, their cardio, their wrestling background, fairly similar. Obviously, I think one would be better than the other, but he's faced somebody a lot exactly like him. So I think it would be a tough fight for Islam for sure.
Not everyone doubted Islam, though. Demetrius Johnson and the MMA guru both leaned heavily toward him retaining dominance even at welterweight. Johnson, one of the greatest fighters of all time, focused on Islam's relentless pressure and his ability to dictate the pace. The knees in the clinch, the timing of his level changes, and the suffocating control on the ground all point to a path where Jack eventually breaks under constant pressure. The guru added that Islam's sharp body strikes could wear Jack down and potentially end the fight, and together, they painted a picture of an Australian who might look competitive early, but ultimately gets overwhelmed by the Dagestani machine.
Who you got? Ilia Topuria, Islam.
I've got Makhachev.
I got Makhachev as well.
And I've got Makhachev second round TKO with a knee in.
Oh, yeah, you going bad rounds.
Yeah, I think he'll shoot a couple takedowns. Ilia will stuff it. Ilia will catch him a few times and people will go ooh and ah. And then when they clash again, I think Makhachev will go grab him. Yep. Ilia will think, oh, he's shooting again. Tight clinch, bang, body, knee to the head. Ilia's all of a sudden stumble downhill from there. I think he beats Oliveira with a body shot though.
Gilbert Burns offered a more balanced view. He acknowledged that leaving lightweight behind might actually benefit Islam, as gutting to 155 had drained him for years. Welterweight could revive him physically, but Burns also warned that this division is filled with bigger, stronger men who won't fold easily. Jack, with his striking pedigree and Craig Jones fine-tuning his grappling defense, could absolutely cause problems. Burns left no doubt that this matchup is razor thin and that Jack's ability to stay upright might be the deciding factor.
What did you think about the Islam vacating the belt and going up and immediately getting a shot at the welterweight bout, and what do you think about that, and how different is that fight going to play out than what we saw versus Bilal?
That's going to be a great fight. Islam's working very hard. He's been saying vocal that he wants to go up to 170. I think he's big. I think he's a big boy. He killed himself to make 55. I think that's the right division for Islam. He just tweeted something after the fight that he will not vacate the title, and then he vacated the title. I don't know. I think he was a little okay. If you're going up, we gotta. I don't know, but probably that was in the negotiation. And yeah, I like him moving up. Proving himself. He's #1 pound for pound right now. It's a good fight. Jack and Islam closer than people think, especially with Jack Della Maddalena doing a lot of training with Volk, with Craig Jones, those guys that kind of crack the Islam on that first Volk fight. I think they're going to have a lot of info, a lot of study, a lot of answers. It's closer than people think, this fight. I really like this fight. I don't have time right now. I didn't have time to dig deep a little too much in that fight, but I think it's way closer than people think. And JDM has a clear shot on beating Islam, you know?
Yoel Romero highlighted Jack's overall package. He admired not just his striking power, but also his conditioning and cage intelligence. Romero felt that Jack had already proven his resilience in the fire, especially with the win over Belal Muhammad, which came in short notice, yet showed composure under pressure. In his eyes, Jack may not have the wrestling pedigree of the Dagestanis, but he has already demonstrated that he can hang with elite grapplers when the moment calls for it.
Yoel Romero gives his honest take. Yoel Romero just shared his thoughts on a potential showdown between Islam Makhachev and Jack Della Maddalena, and it's a must-hear. Romero believes that Maddalena, while being a big 170-pounder, might face a tough challenge against Makhachev's superior grappling. Do you think Jack's striking can beat Makhachev's grappling?
Philip Rowe was fully behind the Australian. He emphasized that Jack's physicality and punching power could be overwhelming. For Rowe, the question was whether Islam even had the frame to truly compete with larger welterweights. He pictured Jack's efficiency and aggression overwhelming Islam before the scorecards even came into play. In Rowe's mind, size combined with knockout power was simply too much for Islam to overcome.
Philip Rowe, what's cracking, man?
Chilling.
Hey, now listen, you're welterweight, you've been in the game a long time. Islam moving up to 170. Is he big enough for 170?
My personal opinion, I don't think he is, but he's a champ. We'll see when he's there. You know what I'm saying? He has a fight. He's fighting the champ. That's the best 170 in the world right now, right? So we'll see.
So you don't think he has the size, but how do you think he does in the fight versus JDM?
I personally think JDM beats him. I think JDM will be able to get up if he does take him down. I don't think he'll be able to take JDM shots. I think personally he'll stop Islam.
Jack Hermansson provided a more tempered assessment. He recognized Islam as possibly the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world at lightweight, but he also questioned whether that dominance would translate at 170. While praising Jack's steady rise and acknowledging the impressive win over Belal, Hermansson stopped short of putting him in the elite class yet. He believed the Australian still needs more high-level tests before he can be considered on par with the absolute top names.
Yeah, it's so hard because you never know when people are changing weight classes. But in lightweight, you know, Islam looks like unbeatable. It's just like maybe the pound for pound best. It's just so insanely good. But can he do it in a weight class above? I'm not sure. Really hard to predict a fight like that. I think I still have to say Islam.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so. Yeah, we need to see a few more fights with Jack. It looked amazing against Bilal, but yeah, I don't know, man. It's something about Islam is just so good.
Max Holloway's take was unique. He highlighted Jack's fight IQ as a secret weapon, and according to him, Jack isn't just about power and pressure, he has the ability to raid fights and adapt on the fly. Holloway believed this trait is crucial when facing someone as calculating as Islam. Both fighters bring unpredictability, and that's why this matchup excites him. Holloway framed it as one of the most intriguing battles of the year because both men have tools to surprise each other in ways nobody expects. Colby Covington looked at the fight through the physical lens. He recognized that Islam won't enjoy the same size edge he had at lightweight, which could make the fight much harder. Still, Colby admired Islam's balance of striking and wrestling. He leaned toward Islam but admitted that nothing is guaranteed here. The jump in weight combined with Jack's boxing leaves the outcome wide open, and it's exactly that uncertainty that makes the fight compelling.
Islam versus JDM, what do you make of that? Islam moving up to now welterweight?
Yeah, it's an interesting fight. I'm excited to see how it goes. You know, Islam, is a lightweight. He's going to be a little smaller in the fight, but he's a well-rounded fighter. So, if he's able to take down JDM and control him, he could definitely get the job done. But it's going to be interesting to see how the size advantage plays a difference in the fight.
Who do you favor?
I mean, I seen the odds were pretty big. They favored Makhachev like 3-1. So I guess I got to go with the odds if they're going 3-1. But just because JDM doesn't have good takedown defense, but you never know. It's a fight, and JDM has some good hands, so it should be an exciting fight for the fans.
Sean O'Malley zoomed out to see the bigger picture. For him, this fight isn't just about a title, it's about shaping the next era of blockbusters. He pointed out that Islam could be lined up for a future clash with Ilia Topuria, and Jack brings a chaotic energy that can turn any fight into a brawl. O'Malley reminded everyone that one or two explosive moments could flip the entire fight, and if Jack stuffs the first few takedowns and starts letting his hands go, chaos could reign, and chaos is where Della Maddalena thrives.
At Islam relinquish his belt and go up to 170. Got JDM taking on Islam Makhachev.
I still think Islam's skill for skill is just so high level. For him to go out there and do what he did against Bilal was very impressive, made that Islam fight more interesting. If JDM can shut him down and throw those hands, but Islam's boxing is underrated. That dude is slick. His kickboxing, his timing, like he's a high level black belt in every aspect of MMA.
Big belt. Who give him that?
Jack versus Islam, I think, is huge. Not as big as Ilia versus Islam, but who knows? Maybe they both win and Islam comes back down to 55 and the fight's even bigger.
The discussion around Islam's welterweight debut has become one of the richest debates in recent memory. As the fight inches closer, one thing is certain. It's no longer just about a champion moving up or a rising star chasing greatness. It has become a clash of styles, eras, and philosophies. Wrestling dominance against precision striking, pressure against chaos, experience against hunger. No matter which way it goes, Islam Makhachev versus Jack Della Maddalena will define not just their careers, but also the future landscape of the welterweight division.